This is the most annoying gag of all time. Now, this Twitter post went super mega viral, had 1 million hits, and it is talking about the One Piece chapter, and I believe the reading comprehension here is just at an all-time low. But before we get started, if you can like and subscribe. Like I mentioned in some of my previous videos, I lost my Apple Watch recently. I think somebody stole it. Shit is so tragic. It is sad time hours over here. So if you can help me out a little bit, thank you very much. But let's get straight to it. Now, this post on Twitter from Dr. Voodoo, which you don't know who Dr. Voodoo is, it's basically like the Unk of One Piece Twitter. The dude has been around for a millennium. A century. He's seen it all. Has seen multiple world wars. When he was a teenager, Superman was still weekly. He's basically like the Rayleigh of One Piece Twitter. You could just go to him for advice. He's like the Shannon Sharp of that space over there. Everybody's uncle. Dude is old as hell. Has a lot of wisdom and also has a lot of bad takes. And he tweeted something now which got 1 million views, saying not very uncle like, cut out this BS. Now I don't know if it is his old age giving him Alzheimer's or something, but I can't tell if he's genuinely read One Piece and or is just forgetting things from the test of time. So let's break it down. Now, number one, if you actually read One Piece, you will know that this is how Oda does all of his One Piece women. They're all strong like that. They all do this. For example, you got Koala the Sabo, Toki the Odin, Manchetti and Leo. I mean, one of the main points of their dynamic was that like Manchetti was a straight up hater to only Leo. You got Genie throwing shit at Kuma, calling them names. You got Kai to Usopp, and probably a lot more that I'm forgetting because I'm just doing this off the top of my head, no script as always. But that's just how Oda writes them, man. And it's not because they're abusive and or this is just to show them like they just want to punch them, etc. Oda writes them in this way because that's just how they show their love. Now, I'm not gonna mention anything, but if you are reading comp, look at all the pairings I mentioned and find the common denominator. You didn't hear from me though. They all love each other. But they only do this for one reason, because they truly care for them. Like if you don't have somebody, whenever you do something that's idiotic, a dumbass shit, partner does not tell you when you're wrong, suck up to everything you do, know everything about that whole genre. Basically, if they don't tell you the truth on what you're doing, then you need to find somebody else because that is not the one. The reason why all these women do this to these men is because they just genuinely love them, man. They want to see them prosper. They want to see them do well. They just genuinely care for them and don't want to see them do idiotic shit, get themselves killed, whatever the reason may be. Like if you even look at it, Nami hitting Luffy, alright, she has only done this a handful of times post time skip, and all the reasons why are very justifiable. It's not like a Sakura situation where she just hits Naruto for just being in her presence. She almost killed the crew getting off of Wano. Another one, he tied her up, which I wonder why she even let him tie her up in the first place. Hey, time for some uncomfortable conversation there. But she's only done this a handful of times. And even if you do hate Nami for this, are you gonna forget everything that she's fucking done for this man? I mean, come on, man, read this story for once. She genuinely cares and loves this dude, man. And Wano had 2 moments which were just so out of character for her, willing to tank a borrow breath for the guy and looking death right in the eyes and be like, nah, Luffy will become the Pirate King straight up to ulti. So out of character just for this man right here. All of Hokkaigan, all of Fishman, all the pre-time skip. I mean, come on, family. She only does this to Luffy because she just genuinely cares and loves for him. I mean, it's certainly not that hard of a concept. I think many people can relate to this in real life too. It's not like they're treating like a dog and they're abusing them, whatever. It's just them telling them the harsh truths and doing it the only way they can, and something that's made for entertainment. I mean, Nami literally let Luffy on her lap. Whenever he was at his lowest, using back-to-back gear 5s on his Drake shit, she let him on her lap, being there for him. Come on, man. The closest person to Luffy is either Usopp or Nami. But she knows the way Luffy is, and the only way to get to him is by just telling him how it is. Not sugarcoating shit. Not letting him do whatever he wants. That's a real lockdown wifey talk. That's why they're perfect. But anyway, you didn't hear that from me either. If they're not locking you down, making sure you're on a straight and narrow, they don't really care for you like that. They don't want to see you succeed. Be your greatest. Now, transitioning to my second point, this is for entertainment. This is a manga. This is a story. If everything was so serious, especially for like One Piece 2, you really have a fucking double fur that turns you into a jacket. Other people can wear you. Like, come on, man. It is not meant to be taken serious 100% of the time. And even then, the very next panel, Luffy is up and about, talking to the giant woman. Like the very next panel. And this panel right here of her hitting Luffy is a small panel on the bottom left of an entire page. It is not that serious, big fella. It's just to make it lighthearted. I bet everybody would hate, like ever since they became a Yonka crew, they would just drop everything. Everything was serious now, the highest stakes, etc. It's just to cut the tension. No, you gotta have gags. And even like this quote-unquote gag, like I just mentioned, was one small panel. It's not like it's an entire story arc. It's not like it's a Sanji type thing to where it's his entire character. His gag is his character. His thing with women is one of the main fundamental points of Sanji, one of the 3 pillars. Food, kicking, women. I mean, the dude almost died from a nosebleed in Fishman Island. That is not a gag at that point. That is his story arc. But this right here, this just isn't serious like that. It's like Brooks Paney jokes, his skull jokes, Frankie saying super, etc. It's just to have comedy, make it more fun, make it more enjoyable to read, whatever. And for the third and last one is that this is just so in character, man. If you look at the context here and look at all the characters involved, Nami loves children, we all know that. Between her and Luffy, I don't know which one loves children more. It's a closer race than you think, let me just tell you that much. But Luffy was scaring all of the children of Elbaf because they're pussy now. They're basically the Gen Z of Elbaf. He was like swinging them on the swing set. They were scared, crying. And Nami decided to say, hey, yo, Luffy, back the fuck down. You're scaring the children. And he didn't do it again. He needed to learn like, hey, you need to back off because they're genuinely terrified. And he wouldn't stop unless Nami did that. Again, this is just so in character for everybody here. Luffy not knowing to stop and Nami saying like, hey, yo, you gotta stop right now. And Nami putting it on the right track. Make sure he's doing the right thing. I mean, I bet everybody would hate it if they completely changed it this cold, emotionally dark, and or more serious tone. This is just to show that they're still the same old Straw Hats we all fell in love with. They're different, but they're still the same. And that's what all about character writing and making a good ass story and characters you can fall in love with, is that they have growth. By the end of the day, they're still each other at heart. Nami is still Nami. Luffy is still Luffy. Usopp is still Usopp. Zoro is still Zoro. Without stuff like this, without gags, without funny moments in One Piece and or media, it would just be so much worse as a reader. So some people just need to look in the mirror and learn to just not take everything serious. This is something for entertainment, not meant to be taken 100% serious all the time. I mean, we're literally in the progressive start of the story. It's where we still haven't gotten to the main part yet. It's just building and building tension. He's making sure like, hey, nothing's wrong right now. By a couple chapters, all hell's gonna break loose, and we're not gonna see something like this again for a long ass time. So last chance to take a look in the mirror, because somewhere in there is a lesson.